and welcome to AfterBuzz Anime Reviews. We're talking Madoka Magica, episodes 7 through 9. We have special guests in the house again. What is the value of a miracle? And a few of our magical girls meet their tragic ends. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up? Welcome to AfterBuzz Anime Reviews. Talking Madoka Magica, episodes 7 through 9. We have a few special guests in the house. Woo! Give a warm welcome to Alex Von David, director of the English cast, and also wrote as well.
The adaptation, yes.
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Coming.
And then we have Cristina Vee, the
Hello.
voice of Homura. Yay!
Yay!
And also, so welcome back because you joined us previously. So happy to have you again.
And I missed you that time.
Yeah.
So now she gets to sit by me.
Yes. And super excited to have Madoka herself, Christene Cabanos.
Hey!
Woo!
That's my best
Welcome. Which is so fitting for in the show
I
and in
know,
real
I
life.
know,
When she
right?
said that, I was like, aw, all the feels.
Yeah, I know. It's really weird how that worked out.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
So, yes. And my name is Kari, and I'm joined. Jamie was not able to express her feelings on the show previously. So, Jamie, what are you thinking of this show now?
You guys, I love the show. I have to say, I love that everything that you guys with the dubbing, with the characters. I think that you guys all did a great job. Now, so at first, I was like, I didn't know what to think because when I see like these little girls, and then they're becoming these magical girls, you think it's gonna be light and fluffy. This gets so dark, but I love anime like that. It's more really my thing, and I think again that you guys did a great job, and I'm definitely a fan. Homura is one of my faves, but Christina just told me some things that I don't know, but I'm gonna keep hope alive. But I love the show, guys. Like seriously, great
Glad
job.
you liked it.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll get into some more of the nitty-gritty of what happens in these episodes. We have a special unboxing, and we'll talk about another show that's been delayed a little bit, and I'll lament on why. So let's get into these episodes. So episode 7, Can You Face Your True Feelings? The show's all about the feels.
Right.
And thank you. Cube finally goes, because you never asked, which we talked about before. Because I'm like, why don't these girls ask? And at least Cube goes, y'all didn't.
That's
ask.
messed up, though.
Right?
And they're young, so I'm just like, oh, I just want to take Kimmy and just,
Yes. And so that's poor Sayaka talking to Cube. Now, question for everybody in the house, and welcome everybody watching us live. If you're watching it later, please comment down below. So it talks about the location of your soul. So without having to get into long explanations, where do you feel your soul resides?
Like in our bodies now, or even on the show?
For your own self, like how do you think of it?
Oh, well, I listened to Oprah.
yeah. Super Soul Sunday.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
High
Super Soul
five.
Sunday.
Yes.
And she was saying that like we all, well, it's not technically how your soul resides, I guess, but she said to think of us all, our bodies are like lamps.
Oh.
And our soul is the electricity, which we are all plugged into. But for some reason, we all associate ourselves more strongly with our lamp than our, but we should be associating ourselves with the electricity.
Oh.
And
Keep preaching.
Yeah, and then so like, and I like how that feels because the electricity, we're all connected as one. So it feels, I feel more connected to everybody when I think of the soul as one big thing, that we're all together and we're not just individual lamps.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wins the
like-
points there. I'm like,
That's
how do you
good.
follow that up?
Oh, I was just gonna say I agree, which I love Oprah. Miss Oprah. That was an aha moment for me. But yeah, I think I agree with what you're saying. It just all kind of depends on how you see it, and I guess it could depend on your faith too. But for me, I don't see like our souls as something that's tangible that we can touch, that we can see physically. So just like I think it was Kyoko that said in the episode, this is just a shell. Maybe it was Kyoko, somebody. But
Cube says like your
Cube.
body is literally a shell.
Yeah.
But I've always thought that like even when people pass on, it's kind of the same thing. It's not that person that's in that grave. So yeah.
Christina?
We're here.
So I saw a psychic medium yesterday.
Oh.
And she gave me a lot of insight about that, saying like the same thing like Oprah said. She just said that like nothing like your outward appearance, that's not who you are, which hopefully is you're tuned into that. But she was just saying how we should really be looking at the quality of our souls, because if you take away that shell, who you really are is your character and your soul and how much you fed that.
Nice.
So I do believe it resides in our bodies.
Alex.
It's funny you bring this up because
I was gonna say, did this come up while you were filming of having to think about that?
no, it never came up. But it's funny that it's coming up now because of the show that I'm working on now. Season 3 of Sword Art deals with the soul and the containers that it gets put in, and cloning a soul and those kinds of things.
Ooh.
And I kind of, this thing that you were talking about Oprah saying that it's like electricity, or that we think of ourselves as lamps and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a terribly religious person, but I mean, I can see a person's soul being sort of the accumulation of all of their experiences and their personality and all their hopes and fears and all that kind of stuff. It's something inherently personal. Where does that live? In your brain somewhere, I guess, and the electrical currents that are going through your brain. So electricity sounds like it makes sense.
No, I dig it. They're all wonderful examples, and well, because somebody had mentioned in our previous video of how there's the gems that they have on them. So Sayaka's there's her belly button, Homura's on the hand, and then Kyoko's on the chest, and then mentioned for Mommy is on her hat. So technically, if she hadn't had her head bitten off, she might not have died. And I was like, that's an interesting thought, right? Because then the gem didn't break. That's holding the soul.
She's even if she was holding on to it, she'd be quite dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering that
like
one.
what happens if their body, like, because I know that like because their soul is taken out of their body and into the gem, their body is able to sustain a lot more damage and because without like them like mentally breaking. But yeah, what happens if they like my arm got cut off or like my head got cut off? Like if the soul's over there, can they be repaired?
Well, I think that's different. Like with Sayaka, she had her ability was healing because of her wish.
Oh, okay.
And so those kinds of, I mean, that's related to your wish and stuff. We never see it in Madoka, so I mean, it's kind of hard to speculate what Urobuchi was thinking when he wrote this, like because we never saw a magical girl get maimed like that.
Right.
That's true.
So.
But it's interesting to ponder.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Well, because also the idea of some other fiction and explore the idea of if your soul is outside of your body, how much are you anymore and everything. So it's kind of an interesting, it's really cool that the show addresses something almost like existential and, you know, beyond what we already know. So I like that. And then but that is helpful for these girls because if your mind and body aren't connected, it pretty much means you feel no pain. And that's pretty much the only way they can fight witches. Yay, but we know that goes to a really dark place with Sayaka soon. So Jamie, how'd you feel? Sayaka, the last episode was kind of like, yeah, this is no big deal. This is fine. Complete 180 now and is super depressed. Yeah. And Homura's like, yeah, I kind of knew that was going to happen, but nobody believed me, so I didn't bother telling you.
Okay, so just like Sayaka's emotions went up and down, my attitude for her did too. Because at first it's like you want to feel bad for her, but it's like, my thing is you did all this for Kyosuke and you can't even express your feelings. So I think she just feels mad frustrated with herself. And also she's probably frustrated or maybe even a little bit jealous of Madoka because Madoka hasn't, taken that leap yet. And it's like, you made this hasty decision. And it's like, I feel bad for her, but it's also like, get it together. Like, come on. So it's like I'm frustrated with her.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that. And if you guys have questions, I'm going to add a question here in the live chat. If you have questions for our amazing voice actors and staff, Caf here, not staff. He's not with AfterBuzz. But if you have questions for them, let us know here.
The other next big question that kind of comes up is pretty much what is the value of a miracle? Because is it worth your life and your soul? Because they have that discussion of like, well, you got your wish granted, which is the value of your life. Who feels that is an equal exchange? I don't think so.
No. None of them need the repercussion. I'm just like, come on. And Madoka has like the best mom. I love her mom. Like, I'm sorry, or is that her mom or is it?
Her mom is a great character
yeah.
and has good advice.
She's the one who was talking to her when she was drinking.
Right, right. I literally love her. I feel like she gives the best advice to Madoka, like even in previous episodes. So it's like, why are you like this?
Yeah, she is someone who gives good advice.
Well, I think that's why Madoka is like hanging out, and she's like trying to really think hard about whether or not she should take the jump. Whereas all the other girls seem to have just said, yeah, screw it. Well, I'm gonna save my friend, or I'm gonna save my family,
Right.
or whatever.
But because of
But
her,
she's so
because of her
willing
mom.
to like
Yeah.
sacrifice herself for other people, which is like it can be admirable. But for me, that's why I'm like I love Homura because for me, I love like the tough girl characters, and that's just my thing. Nothing against Monica at all.
She's great. That's
She's
believe
great.
me. At the end,
Wait.
I wanted to shake her.
Just
Yeah,
wait.
that's
Well,
Wait till you get to episode 10,
yeah,
and you
just wait.
find out about Homura.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't yet.
No, she doesn't know. So
Oh.
no spoilers.
I have to save
Yes.
it. I have to
Okay,
save
good.
it for
All
another
right.
week.
Christine, so speaking of Monica's mom, what was it like acting those scenes of being that child and being able to, talk? I mean, they're not really there, but that journey for Monica of wanting to explore it. So how was that as a voice actor, and then your director's right here, and
I try to think back on the actual experience, but I really like all those scenes with the mom. And her mom actually reminds me a lot of my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because my mom is like independent career woman kind of person. And yeah, like they're very, very like no nonsense, kind of very similar.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
I relate to their relationship a lot.
very cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought they were always so sweet, and yeah, she does give great advice,
Great
and I'm glad
advice.
that she
Yeah.
had somebody like that in her life to give her insight like that. Because yeah, it probably would have ended very differently
That's
for
true.
Monica
Yeah.
if she didn't have her.
Well, in episode 10,
We're not there yet. All right. This is something we love, and then for the those who worked on it as well. When you get to see it, the animation style changes so much in the show, which I personally adore.
Oh,
Like how they
so
change
dope.
up the medium. So we get that kind of puppet show with Kyoko's backstory.
when they're in the,
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're
When they're in the
labyrinth and
church.
stuff.
Well, the
Yeah.
church when
Oh,
she's
the
telling
church,
Sayaka
the
how she
flashbacks.
got to it.
Yeah.
So hold that thought for 1 second. So yes, Kyoko and Sayaka are talking about like, is it worth it, and the regrets, and that kind of like backstory she had of being excommunicated, which was interesting to throw religion into this because we haven't quite had that so much.
I loved that
Um,
backstory.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I thought it
again,
was great.
dark. Oh yeah, my dad killed himself and my whole family.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
And
Totally backfired.
and so she's just trying to help. So, any comments on that whole arc, and then also the medium? Let's start with Jamie.
Well, first of all, I loved it. Like, okay, just a little backstory myself. So my dad used to be a preacher, he's not like a pastor of a church anymore. We're a lot older now, but it's just crazy. So I kind of related with Kyoko about that, how she kind of did all this for her dad, and then it totally backfired in her face because now her dad has all these eyes on him and the family, and I think it maybe just drove him nuts, and that's why he did what he did. But that's really where the show took, a dive where I was like, whoa, this got really dark. In a good way, because that's what I like. But it's, I was like, wait a minute. It was just like boom, boom in your face. Like, yeah, not only did he kill the family, but then he committed suicide. Damn.
No big.
But again,
This
it's
girl's been through it.
it's a result of the wish.
yeah,
Is it
I
because
know.
they're not
That's what
specific
sucks.
enough or something?
What was that?
Like, is it because the girls are not specific enough with their wishes?
It's like
that-
the
or is
standard
it just-
be careful what you wish for,
Yeah.
the genie
Yeah.
thing of
It's-
like they taint it.
It's just gonna bad things are gonna
Totally.
happen no matter what they wish for.
This
right?
is because
Probably.
in episode 9, Cube talks about we haven't gotten to episode
Not
9
yet.
yet. So, but it's explained later in episode 9 when Cube is talking
It's
to Madoka.
wishing for other people is the problem.
Yeah.
Is generally because
Oh.
you don't know what
Yeah.
they want,
I remember
Exactly.
that.
and you
yeah.
can't truly know what they want.
And you're
Even
That
if
was
you
Sayaka's
think,
mistake.
future.
yeah.
This is called codependency.
Technically.
And then for the art style, for those worked on the show, what was it like then to see an anime that changed up for that? And then we'll start with you, Christine, because I didn't get a talk on the art style yet of the show. So in general, Madoka has this cool, sketchy style, which is not super common, and then throws in these other art styles. What did you think as a viewer watching that?
I loved it. Like I love all the labyrinth scenes.
Mm.
They're elaborate.
Labyrinths. Yes.
But yeah,
Labyrinth.
I feel like it did set Madoka apart from a lot of the shows, especially at the time. I still can't think of a show now that really took such risks with the art style. And
There's the Monogatari series.
Oh, did they do
Same
that too?
director,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Adachi.
That makes sense.
Same director, same animation company, Shaft.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that signature style of theirs is very. I feel like it really makes Madoka stand out as a series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well,
Christina?
oh, yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I like Christine's answer. If I say anything like, it was pretty, I just say it.
It was pretty.
Well, it's a visual medium. You
Yeah.
literally are watching it. So if you don't like the style, it's like going to affect wanting to watch a show.
I feel like that's what makes animation so effective is it's not just confined to like reality.
Yeah.
Like there's already that break.
Yeah.
So when you do things like this, I just think being able to explore like those different mediums and utilizing like creative things like symbolism and stuff, I think that's what makes animation so powerful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love looking for. There's so many. Like you could watch it over and over. All their labyrinths. There's so many pieces of symbolism for each character.
Oh, yeah.
That are all related specifically to the
that witch.
to the curse.
Yes.
That, yeah.
That part was awesome.
We have a question from the chat, the Lilo the Stitch. You want to read that, Jamie?
Yeah, so Lilo asked, so my question is for Christina and Christine. What are your favorite quotes from the characters you voiced? So
Ooh. I can never remember
I
what
know.
Homura
On the
said.
spot.
What does
Good
Homura
ones,
say?
though. Let me look at my notes. He had
A
really
lot
good
of
one.
different things. Or maybe favorite moment then if you can't think of a favorite quote.
I loved. Well, see, I don't want to say.
It might be later.
Later.
Okay.
Oh.
I can't remember what the earlier stuff that she says. Well, because a lot of Madoka's quotes, at least up till now, were like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I know one that I like from Homura where she said, "Stop treating yourself like you don't matter." I was like, that was a gem right there.
Yeah.
When she was like in
When
the
she's
park,
crying,
in
yes.
the park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
That's why I like her for now.
For now. Yeah.
You'll like
That's a
her
good
for
one.
you'll like her for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, so the next bit, the end of the episode, we have the big twist, not the twist, but Jamie, did you see it coming that Hitomi was getting in on Sayaka's boy? And was like, oh, by the way, you get till tomorrow to tell him, otherwise I'm going there.
That was a crazy moment, but I felt like different ways about it. At first, I was like, well, I mean, she's kind of a good friend because she's like, listen, I like this guy. I have the guts to go talk to him. I noticed you've known him longer, so I'm gonna give you these options. But it was like an ultimatum,
Right.
So I felt bad for Sayaka, but at the same time, I'm like, you literally put this on yourself. Had you had the guts to even talk to him in the first place, you were going in the hospital room all the time. Now you can't say anything, like.
Is that wrong to pursue your friend's crush though? In the first
But
place?
she was upfront about it.
I know that we were talking about it, or maybe it was Sarah and me. No, not Shelby. It was Sarah and me. No, Shelby did find it kind of weird,
Yeah.
like a weird scene to be so confrontational and stuff. And I think I remember her and Sarah both mentioning it now. And I remember sitting there watching it going, oh my God, this is like, this just went like in a direction I totally didn't think was going to happen. This sort of, with the music and the lighting and stuff, it got so serious about this. And Hitomi's expression and her performance in the
yeah.
Japanese was just like that. It was like, it was just very just
Stoic.
stone. Yeah. And it was weird. And I remember having a hard time adapting it because I didn't think, I couldn't get myself into that headspace of being such a rock about it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, I think for young teenage girls and just, when you reminisce, it's kind of realistic.
It's very serious
Yeah.
business.
It's very serious. If you write about it in your diary.
Then this is what
I
this
did.
goes back to what you were asking last week about
We asked
me.
about a male directing a show with mainly female.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. I never thought about that.
Well, no,
Oh,
because
yeah.
originally I was thinking, I don't think I'm right for this just because I'm coming from a male's perspective, but then the writer's male, the director's male, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But still, it was one of those things where it was like, "Ooh, should I? But, they weren't offering it to anyone
Yeah.
else. I needed the money, and I liked the show.
No,
It
you'll
was
get a
like,
job.
I was like,
Great job.
it was like I had to do it. So.
Logistics question, interesting. Fun with Colleen asked, how many episodes did you dub over at a time, like in a single session?
We did the whole thing
Single set?
in once.
Yeah, we did it like in a month.
Oh,
something,
in a
right?
single
in a session.
session.
Like how many, when you go in for the day, was there ever a set amount or did it vary?
No.
It's just as far as you
Varied,
get, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's depending on how many lines a particular character had in a particular episode.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of episodes Homura is just watching and she doesn't say anything, for example, or Madoka is tagging along and she's not really saying much.
Yeah, but we don't go episode by episode.
Yeah, and the lines are kind of short for their characters anyway, for the
Right.
most part, until these episodes where the
Yeah.
lines started getting longer and bigger and more conversational with other
Yeah.
characters. So it was kind of, it's kind of up in the air. I know that when we recorded it, we took about a month to record the whole show.
That's
And we-
it?
Yeah.
I remember
Wow.
that. And we
Yeah.
did it really fast.
It was during Halloween.
Yeah.
I remember
Oh,
that.
wow.
I was telling
Oh.
Christine, I was telling Christine earlier that every Halloween now, I instantly think of Madoka.
Aw.
And so,
that's perfect.
but I haven't watched it since, since you guys asked us to come on the show. Then I
nice.
watched the episodes again and was reminded of, just the way the lighting is and the colors and the music and all
It's a
that
good
stuff.
Halloween show.
It's a very good
Yeah,
Halloween
it is.
show.
I watched
Yeah.
mine at Thanksgiving. I watched it at Thanksgiving the first time I saw it.
Close to Halloween,
Yeah,
still fall.
still
Let's watch it
Still
all
fall.
at Christmas.
All right. So speaking of essentially detaching, we had the very end of this episode where it's the Sayaka goes in and totally detaches, and that's how she doesn't feel pain, and we get those really creepy silhouettes like all in black, and then weird head tilt, and looking back and like it's fine, and poor Madoka's like, oh my bestie is freaky.
yeah.
I love the silhouette animation.
it looks
though. I
great.
thought it was
Yeah.
great. I thought it was amazing.
That reminds me of Utena. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
they
Oh, I
do.
love
Parts of
Utena.
it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the
They
whole
have a
thing.
lot. They have a lot of those silhouette scenes.
And that's how they tell
was-
story, though, of sometimes they're, like, similar to the storytelling, they kind of do that as a dialogue, or two characters are talking about, like, what's happening as a whole, and they go to, like, puppet screens.
Yeah, it was great.
Callback, I like it.
Is it-
Classic.
Is it animated by Shaft as well?
No,
It's
I'm wondering if it's
old.
like a magical girl trope because I feel like Cardcaptor Sakura.
Oh,
does it
true.
sometimes.
Oh,
Well, it's older.
maybe.
Like, this is, I don't know, it's an old show.
It was like
I don't know the
97.
date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do it. Let's do it again.
Episode 8, I was stupid, so stupid. Oh man, how many moments do you have where you go like, damn, nab it, and you like kick yourself? Right? So
Is that what it was called? I was.
it's
stupid.
called I was stupid, so stupid, because
Oh,
that's what
okay.
Sayaka says at like the
right.
very end.
Poor thing.
I thought it was something about being like a fool. Maybe it's the. I read a different title.
Well, it could translate of fool,
Yeah.
stupid, idiot. You know, it's loosely similar words.
That might have been the original
The
translation
Japanese translation.
Yeah.
on the subtitled
But our
version.
English version is.
Yeah.
I'm just
Stupid.
so-
Yeah, that's what we ended up going
Yeah.
with.
So Sayaka and Madoka, they're having their moment, and essentially Sayaka's kind of snapped, which it's like, aw. And man, she's kind of pushing Madoka of like, well, if you really want to associate like how I feel, maybe you should be a magical girl too. Do not push your friends to do things they don't want to do.
Yeah.
That was
Sorry,
messed up.
Christine. I made Christine go to Halloween Horror Nights with me once.
Really?
Oh.
Oh no!
I learned
I
like
love
I was like I will
Halloween.
never. If they say no, I will take that.
Like, learn
Yeah.
my lesson.
Yeah,
Never again.
it's traumatic.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Never
I'm
forget.
so sorry.
Well,
Never forget
speaking
you.
of dark, we learned that Sayaka's gem is pretty much getting too tainted, so she's pretty much goner. Jamie, how are you feeling when Kyoko and Homura are talking about it and they're kind of doing their planning and they're like, oh yeah, well, she's kind of gone.
It's kind of like a lost cause.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where a little bit where it's like I could understand Madoka, but where I got a little annoyed because I'm like, just let her go. Like you should have listened to Homura. And also, I was mad at Sayaka too because I'm like, you didn't even like Homura, and then she's the one that saved you when. Sorry, I always go on a tangent. But when
Yes.
she's when Madoka threw your freaking soul gem,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then she saved you.
She
so
saved
it's like,
you.
That's why
Yes.
I'm like, Homura, I'm so sorry you have to go through that.
Did she save
Yeah.
her for Madoka?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Well, but
She
also
doesn't care
'cause-
about Sayaka, right?
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
well,
Well,
she
no,
cares.
she cares. I both.
Episode 10. Episode 10.
Okay.
These are
Well, I'm
episode
excited
10
for it.
things.
I
It's-
really,
That's
well,
why
at this
I don't
point,
like
you could
Sayaka.
say both. I'd say she cares about what Madoka feels, but also as a fellow magical girl, and it's one of those, you did the one thing you really shouldn't be doing right now. Like, I'd feel that's the only moment as of yet where Homer could almost be mad at Madoka, like truly be like, you were very ignorant at this moment, but she
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
Because Homer won't tell her.
Yeah.
So we have the other moments where speaking of the scenes, we have that park scene where it's Homer and Madoka. So Christine, how is it to get emotional? Because up till this point, Homer's been very stoic, very almost flat talking, or very almost patronizing, like you don't know what's going on, everybody. And this is when she actually cries.
I think it's actually easier to be emotional than it was for the rest of it because there's so much going on underneath and you have to portray that without portraying anything.
Right.
So I will say like emotional scenes are a lot easier and it was really satisfying.
we didn't do very many takes, did we?
I don't think so. Not for that
just
one.
like one and a safety or something like that,
Yeah.
or maybe just for sync.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I don't recall it being
Yeah.
very difficult for Cristina to get there. So
Well, I almost, well, let me know from both parties. Of it almost feels like she's had this built up, and this is finally where like the dam breaks. Of like, oh, I just want to tell you something, and like those emotions finally get to come out. Was it kind of like that for Homura? Do you feel?
I feel like it for sure. And again, like having Christine play Madoka, like it's just
you could ground it more.
I can ground it, yeah, because
all
like
the scenes of us together were easy.
yeah, because it's like
felt-
oh, we had like a similar talk, except you know what I mean, not about witches,
Yeah.
but like oh yeah, we've had these emotions together. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Actually, now that you just made me think about it. So, did you ever have it, Christine and Cristina? Did you have it where you got to hear the other's voice, or did you ever get to be at the same space in the same?
We
at
were
the same
never
time?
in the same at the same time.
I think
Okay.
you were always ahead of me too. 'Cause I
Okay, so
heard
you
you.
always got to hear me
Yeah.
while you were doing yours.
Yes.
Aw.
Okay.
and
I
then
don't-
sometimes we would go
Sometimes.
back.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so I could so I
Oh.
can play off of you now.
Mm.
You're right.
Yeah.
Quick tangent, but since they mentioned the line thing, there was this line that we always played to get into voice. It was Madoka Kaname, something, 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 something. To become a magical girl. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, is that your voice rap or
Yes, or
something?
rap.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my voice rap
Because
was.
da na na na.
I can't
I remember the
remember.
music of it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's coming back.
Well, we did talk about this with Christina last time. So, Christine, for you, was there any process you did to get into the voice for Madoka, or any headspace you went into to get into it?
I don't know. Well, it was weird because I remember always getting the note about her Madoka being like baby-ish.
Mm.
Do you remember that? Like
Yeah, Hiroi would always.
Yeah, Hiro would mention like
In the
baby,
beginning.
innocent, bubbly headed.
Mm.
I guess there's not really like specifically like I look at her like I'm very visual, like I need to see her again. And yeah, like once we play the voice rap and see her again, it's not that hard to just like jump back in. I don't
That's
remember
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I remember it was always just kind of like you were always sort of one step or a couple steps behind everybody else. So everything was always kind of like, what? Really?
Yeah.
So you would always just get into that headspace.
Yeah.
And you'd also be, I'd ask you to be less articulate when you would speak.
that was kind of the baby thing too.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
because like
interesting.
sometimes like we're used to kind of told to enunciate more.
Enunciate
Yeah.
always.
But now, but for Madoka, we needed to like slur her speech up a little bit to give her like her innocence and her
Very cool.
Mhm.
Rewinding in the chat, Wiccan said, the scene with Homer crying, talking to Madoka is amazing. I loved it so much. The original and the dub really got into it.
Oh, thanks.
Nice. Thank you.
Good.
So then we get the end where it's pretty much hope and despair balances out. Yay. But you're like, oh no. And that leads into the really creepy moment where we have Kyubey and he's like, oh yeah, well it's interesting that they're called girls because then they're magical girls who turn into witches. Boom.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, how did you feel when you got to see that moment and you're like,
That's where I wanted to just grab Kyubey and just throw him because it's just so frustrating. But it's like they thought they were doing something great. They thought they were gonna get a miracle, and they're young, so it's like okay,
They're
Jamie.
just batteries.
Yeah,
That's all they are.
Pretty much.
Yes.
I felt
Ollie,
bad.
Ollie is covering DragCon right now, but he was like the whole time, and so you didn't get to see him mention it, but he's like, oh, Kyubey's so cute and everything.
Nope.
And Veronica and I are just like, oh, we want to kill that little mofo.
Exactly, because his voice, and then like with the
Little cat
the
mouth.
permanent
Yeah.
smile. I'm like, oh, I don't trust you. I
Right?
can't.
So Jamie, speaking of that, have you been trusting the whole time, or are you suspicious
Oh, I
from
was
the beginning?
suspicious the whole time. Where'd
Okay.
you come from? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
In rewatching, I have been like, damn, he's so passive aggressive and very pushy at exactly the same time, which is fun. Really kind of lends to the show being a good rewatch because you go, oh, you don't notice it as much the first time. Maybe you're suspicious, but you're like second time you go, oh my gosh.
I was
Did
like,
you feel
here we
that
go,
all
finally.
in
I knew
rewatching
it.
that you notice more of? Because for all the characters, when you know where they end up, it's just like,
It's, I had watched it so many times already when I started working on the script, so I already kind of knew where everything was going.
Fair.
So watching it over again was just sort of like giving me flashbacks of the sessions and stuff.
Yeah.
And just like, oh my God, I remember, seeing this thing come together. Or I remember, oh yeah, we had trouble with this because the words just didn't work quite right. So we had to put it away and I had to go home and write that night and try and figure out how to make it work. And I mean, so all the Easter eggs they've already been unpacked and eaten.
So last episode 9, I'd never allow that to happen. So Sayaka turns into a witch, which we probably maybe saw coming, but it's we have that Homura and Kyoko are like, okay, let's see if we can get her back, and how Madoka is gonna try to help, even though who knows what she can do.
Yeah.
How was that scene of like calling out to your friend? Did you, when you're in the room, or was it directed? Did you think it would work?
Oh, like trying to get Sayaka
Like,
back.
yeah, because like you're in that mode and you're trying to call to your friend. So you as the actor, were you told, or did you come up to the what you're calling would work, or did you not know?
Well, I watched the whole series before, so I knew.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was gonna work. But I think, I mean, I feel like the key, like the cornerstone of Madoka as a character is hope. So as the character of Madoka, in every situation, you always have to believe in the best case scenario.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a very good word for her, for sure.
It's funny, though, that you brought back, did she know about this? Because, did you watch the whole show?
No, you made me watch it.
I made her watch it, she says.
Mommy made me
Well,
watch it.
Homura should know.
I don't remember that.
I would
because I was having trouble, and you're like, okay, you need to watch the entire series.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I was like,
You didn't watch it until you started recording?
No.
Because
Because Mommy made me, she's like, you should watch it all before anything even happens.
okay.
So, like, I watched it before
Jamie's
we
like,
got it.
what?
Yeah.
So-
You'll
and
find out.
There's one actor who did not watch it, and we let it happen that way, and it was Kari, who played Mommy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, though. She
Because,
shouldn't know.
because Hitoe wanted her to experience the same thing that the Japanese voice actor experienced when they were recording, because they did not tell her. And so when we were recording, and then when, you know, the whatever Charlotte or something is, you know, coming at her, the witch, the candy witch, she's coming at her, and Carrie's like, okay, cool, so I got to do a gasp. Yeah, there's a little gasp here. And then we left it open after she recorded it, and we just let the scene play out, and then all of a sudden, clink, and she just looked over at us. Her jaw was like wide open. She's like, whoa.
She was so confused. She was
It
like,
was
I have
so-
another session after this. What happened?
Yeah, it was, but it was one. I looked at Hitoe when she said, "Hey, we should do this with her," and I said, "I don't think she's gonna appreciate that."
But you know what? That gets the true, honest.
Carrie's a good enough actor, though, to play that off. It's not like,
Oh,
but
man.
it was, but she was
Yeah.
okay with it in the end. But still, it was like one of those kind of. I was sitting there as a director, going, "Oh, I don't."
No.
Wow, no, that's
Oh my
cool.
God. No, I was like, she comes back, right? Like, I believed that for the entire series, and then it ended, and I was like, wait.
Because she's a very popular
She
character.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we get the big reveal of soul gems going black. You get reborn a witch. Darn.
Circle of life.
Yay! And Kyubey goes, no, it's cool because we're just prolonging the
Oh my
universe.
gosh.
It's entropy. It's just the power magical girls. You're just giant batteries.
You're
exactly.
helping. You're helping.
And yeah, your sacrifice collects energy. No, thank you.
No.
Did not sign up for that. What? And it's like, yeah, I don't tell you all the details because everybody freaks out.
It's a numbers game. It's a numbers
what?
game. I feel like it's a numbers game too.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. He doesn't care whatsoever.
He's got spares.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I feel like we
Oh,
have
man.
debates about, like, I remember at conventions, like, if I'm with Cassandra, we host a thing called Madoka 101, and we have debates on, like, people who think that Kyubey
Oh,
is
good or evil,
Like,
right.
Oh, yeah.
he's like, but it's good because it's for the good of the whole universe. Like, what's a couple
But is
people?
it really?
But then, like, you know,
Right,
at the
how does he
expense
know?
of these people. Yeah. So.
I feel like Carrie is actually mad at me
Why?
for rebellion.
Oh,
getting a little
no,
hit.
she gets really upset.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's not me, though.
Yeah, Jamie hasn't seen Rebellion yet either. That'll be our later
Oh.
thing. That's
Okay,
the
I have
movie.
to- I have
Yes.
my homework.
Okay, well,
After-
there's
after
a
the
lot
series,
to be
you can watch
upset
that.
about.
Okay.
You thought the
So
show
am I.
was dark.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my thing though, so it's cool.
So it's all right. So the end, we getting Kyoko talking to Madoka and pretty much being a magical girl is it should only be a last resort thing. Like, keep holding it off. And then calling to Sayaka doesn't really work, but kind of Kyoko's. Do you feel she sacrificed herself? Or what how do we feel about those final moments? I think Kyoko felt for Sayaka and knew that there's nothing to do, but felt she was like, I'll die with you.
Maybe like 75%. That because I feel like after a while she just kind of like, F it, I'm over this. Like, God, my life sucked. I was like, ouch. you know? So I feel like she was kind of just over it.
Okay.
But she was willing to sacrifice herself for Sayaka.
Okay.
I guess it wasn't going to save Sayaka, but it was just for her comfort to just know she wasn't going to go alone or something.
Well,
like
she
that.
tells
Yeah.
she tells Homura, get Madoka out of here.
Yeah.
Because you can't fight carrying her
Yeah.
and protecting her at the same time. So that was the only thing that she can do.
Okay.
Yeah, she wanted to end Sayaka's suffering.
Yeah.
I thought that's kind of how I approached the scene.
But it was also so that
But it's
Sayaka doesn't
practical
go out of
as
control
well.
And like, yeah.
But it's practical as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the very end, Kyobe with Homura pretty much like, well, you're the only one left to fight. Unless Madoka joins. Any other final thoughts on these episodes? And actors, director of any thoughts on like where these moments were, or anything in recording during these specific episodes?
I mean, Madoka's like in limbo throughout all these episodes. It's
Right.
the
Yeah,
constant,
these
I don't
these
know
are
what
the
to do.
Sayaka Kyoko episodes, right?
Yeah.
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 And then the reveal of like what being a magical
Oh,
is
yeah.
really about.
Is
Yeah.
this where I like
I
throw
will-
up or something? Or like
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I think about it and she like gets so sick about it. She like
Yeah.
gags.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
remember.
That's, like, intense.
I remember something. Oh, the thing that I took away from these episodes was like when Madoka's mom is like talking about drinking, and she's like, "That's what alcohol's for."
Oh yeah, that was in
That was the last set.
Oh, that was the last
But
set.
yeah.
6 or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
that 6?
Like that is
Okay.
like real life advice.
Yes.
I think about that often.
I drink with my parents now.
Jamie, any final thoughts on these episodes?
All I'll just say is literally it's like phenomenal job. I love the show and I'm really excited for these next 3 episodes. Even if I won't like Homura, but I'm excited. So
You're gonna
I'm
love
happy.
Oh no, you're gonna love Homura.
Oh, just wait.
You're gonna
Oh,
love
yeah.
Homura.
love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just
Okay.
happy you guys are like in my presence.
Aw.
Like seriously.
We're gonna rapid fire through the very end. So we have our special segment. So you didn't get a. I was like, you're new for these.
Oh, yeah.
So our special segment is our Japanese word of the day, which is very appropriate for Madoka. It's wakarimasen of I don't understand.
Wakarimasen,
Wakarimasen.
wakarimasen.
So it's wakarimasen. So that's for the
Wakarimasen.
Romaji is WAKARIMASEN.
There's no ding.
Wakarimasen.
There was a
Is there a
ding
ding?
last
Ding?
time.
Yay!
there it
It means I don't understand.
Wakarimasen.
Oh, Christine has to do the Homura voice.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
What
yes.
are you talking about?
I impersonated
she
everyone.
impersonated you. Do you have a Homura impersonation, real quick?
Wakarimasen.
Was I supposed to say anything?
Oh,
Just say anything.
That was so deep.
Oh.
Yes.
actually, your
so-
homework wasn't very deep. It was just
No.
very
Oh.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rapid fire news. I'm like, there it is. Okay. So if you didn't notice, there was no Attack on Titan today because somebody we don't know who leaked the episodes, and so Japan goes, hold on, we are not going to be airing those till a little bit after their airs in Japan. So any legal service you're getting it from should not be airing it until late on Sunday nights. Now, first they said Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern, and now I saw it was late on Sunday nights. So we'll be back next week to cover what would have aired this morning.
Look at all this disruption that these leakers
like,
cause.
Stop leaking it. So that kind of really sucks.
a lot.
Also, there's been a lot of press release announcements for everything for Anime Expo, which is coming up real soon. Check out the ABTVanime Twitter account. We've been posting all those kind of links and that kind of stuff. So where can we find all of you? Thank you so much for being here and any projects you want to promote. Let's start with Christine on the couch.
Huh? Oh, I guess you can find me on Instagram, Christine M. Cabs with a Z. at the
Cabs.
end. That's what, and that's kind of from Alex. That's my.
I call you Cabs and I call you V.
Yeah, M. Cabs.
Oh, I like that.
And any projects you want to promote? Or you can't talk about them yet?
I can't think of ones that I can talk about.
That's fine. So we'll
Follow me on Twitter. I always post all the new stuff. Oh, I'm on We Bear Bears if you guys
Yes.
watch
Cool.
We Bear Bears.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm on some of
Congrats.
the new episodes of that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And Christina?
At Cristina Vee, so it's CRISTINA VEE on Twitter, Cristina VOX on Instagram, Victor and Valentino airing on Cartoon Network now, and I can't think of anything else.
Congrats for that.
Thanks.
Yeah, congrats. Jamie can find me on Twitter at It's Jamie Gray or on Instagram at Jamie Gray.
Oh, Alex, you can only find me on Twitter. That's as far into the social media pool I'm going to go. It's my name, Alex Von David, at Alex Von David. And right now, Sword Art Online Season 3, Alicization is on Toonami. There's that. You can see the first season of Konosuba on Crunchyroll. Which these ladies are into. And then there's a couple of things I can't talk about, but you'll probably be hearing about them probably around Anime Expo Comic Con time.
All right.
Nice. I'm excited.
And you can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And again, check out ABTVanime on Twitter. We'll post pictures of what's in the Loot Anime crate, and we're not gonna have predictions because it's the end next week. We're talking about the finale, the last 3 episodes. So tune in. We'll see you next week. Sayonara.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.